2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
On the road looking for a win against a Western Conference rival. The Houston Rockets are getting ready for this thing to get started. We're live at AT&T Center. Welcome to San Antonio, Texas for this Spurs home game. We welcome you this Thursday evening as we get set for some exciting NBA action on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with David Aldridge on our sideline. And it's going to be San Antonio off the tip. And the Houston Rockets starting five. Anderson is down low with Capella. Harden out there with Green. And it's Mbamute in at the three. Murray dishes to Aldridge. Now we have some conference rivals meeting up tonight. Clark, I know these games get very intense.
Yeah, in many ways too, Kevin. The crowd is more amped up, louder, more emotional, more rabid. And the emotions between the players can run high, leading to friction and confrontation. So it's a charged environment when you lock heads with your rival.
Now here's Murray. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Murray. He dishes it to Aldridge. And Gasol now top of the key. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Gasol, a screen on Capella. Anderson can't get it to go. And the Rockets with possession here. And here is Green. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here. The Spurs offense, one of the most efficient in the NBA. It's all predicated, Greg, on motion.
And it's ball movement and player movement. They kind of want to warp the defense and force mistakes, and that's when they strike.
Houston shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one. The first free throw is good. Both free throws good from Green.
And you know, Kevin, there is no question about what this Rockets team wants to do. Shoot threes and drive it to the goal. Last in the league in mid-range jumpers by a long shot.
Now here's Anderson over Mbamute. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Capella. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Murray, the pass to Green. Good looking screen by Gasol. Green kicks to Gasol. And Gasol slams it in.
And it's really smart to get Gasol moving in these pick and roll plays. He's not only an amazing passer, but a terrific scorer as well.
And to give some more data on the Rockets and their threes, about 46% of their shots last season were from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and you know what? The Rockets are a firm believer in advanced analytics, which tilt the balance towards the three-point shot. And that's been a real driving force for why this team values the three as much as they do. And just another side note, that was an NBA record in terms of three-point shooting volume by the Rockets last season.
Murray, good.
Boy, a fantastic job by Aldridge to lay into that defender on the screen.
Houston's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, earlier I spoke with Mike D'Antoni. He told me they always have to be alert, and especially against this team because of its discipline and focus. He said we'll get embarrassed if we're inattentive at the defensive end. We must stick with our principles and do the little things. Kevin, they did win the first meeting of the season, and we'll see if they can get it done again tonight.
Great job, David. So they know how dangerous this team can be if they get on a roll.
And that means contesting every single shot. It's going to take a lot of effort on D, but they can't give up those easy baskets.
Without question, you're right on top of it, Greg, because if you do allow this team to get rolling and get into a groove, you can forget about slowing them down.
And when you watch this Rockets team, you can see just how explosive they are on the offensive end. Almost everyone on the floor can hurt you from deep, and they all know their role and execute it to a T.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw, good, Anderson. And last season, the Rockets' offense was incredible. Then they go and add Chris Paul.
They can run a team off the floor if they get hot. 2 great playmakers in Paul and Harden. And making a move for Paul made a lot of teams fear what the Rockets can do now on offense.
Both shots good from the stripe. Rockets trail by 3. Screen by Baamute. Harden inside the three-point line. That one wide left.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
Here's Green. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And Danny Green, undrafted out of North Carolina. He's been a linchpin of the Spurs' great defense over his career.
You know, 6'6" with that 6'10" wingspan. This is a guy that can block shots like a big man, guards 3 positions, and one of the guys that we call the prototype when you talk about that 3 and D wing player.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Green. And the Spurs, Greg, one of the best defensive teams in the league for 2 seasons running.
And it's really all about execution. They seem to just move in concert and stay connected. No silly fouls. And with their length, nothing easy inside.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And one thing you can say about Green, I don't know of too many players who are as dependent on their three-point shot as he is. He needs that shot to be falling for him to make an impact.
It's stolen by Green. In the corner, Murray with it. Beyond the arc. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Murray's got 5 now. Rockets trail by 8. Harden with it. Here is Mbamute. The Rockets again can't hit. And it's the Spurs ball. They're on a 13-5 run here. Murray kicks to Aldridge. Pass to Gasol. It's stolen by Capella. Harden outside. Over in the corner, Mbamute. And some nice passing there by Houston. And Anderson kicks to Green. 6 to shoot. Screen by Mbamute. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That is his first foul of the game. Outside, Green. There's the screen. Anderson, a screen on Anderson. Shot clock at 2. 20 feet out. That's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. Outside, Green. Screen by Capella. And the foul called on Danny Green. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Already his second foul. He's in danger of getting into serious foul trouble early in this game.
Green with the ball. Now Green defending. Screen by Mbamute. And Harden wide open. He shoots. Good. And it's Green picking up the assist. Harden's got his second bucket of the night.
And Harden takes a lot of pride in being a hard matchup, a tough cover. I mean, he takes no time in shooting once he gets the pumpkin.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
In the Spurs last season, how about setting the all-time record for consecutive winning seasons with 20? This is a group that's won 50 or more games in every one of those seasons except the strike-shortened one in '99.
A different look now for San Antonio. Ginobili comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Mills in for Danny Green. Gasol setting the pick for Murray. Outside Gasol. Shoots the 3. Mills can't hit. And Greg, for the Spurs, they're so competitive. It's inevitable. They just win year after year.
Yeah, but that big 3 of Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili, the all-time winningest trio in the history of our league, had a lot to do with it. And as that era comes to an end, they're doing a terrific job of just picking up new star talent without skipping a beat.
Shot's good from Mbamute.
Worked that one inside nicely.
Spurs leading by 3. Anderson outside. Gasol, a screen on Anderson. To the left wing. Ginobili up top. The pass to Murray. Good-looking screen by Gasol. 6 on the shot clock. Now here's Mills. Tight defense on him. It's good.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Yeah, I like the quick release, Greg. He does a nice job getting it up quickly, especially when he's facing a bigger defender.
Harden kicks to Mbamute. Anderson the screen. Mbamute dishes to Green. And here's Harden for 3. Buries it from three-point range. Harden's got 9 points.
So pretty to watch when Harden gets room to shoot from 3. I mean, his release, picture perfect. I think it's going in every time.
Mbamute against Ginobili. And Clint Capella is going to pick up a foul. That is his first foul of the game. Tony Parker's checked in for the Spurs. Here's Ginobili. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And here's Anderson from the arc. The rebound by Harden. The Rockets have gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Outside, Green. Harden against Parker. Harden the pass to Capella. And some nice passing there by Houston. Clock is at 3. And you know about Harden shooting and his ability to get to the line and all that, but you know, Clark, what some people don't realize is just how fast he's going end to end. I mean, he can just blow by players in the open floor.
Yeah, he's got deceptive speed, Kevin, and part of that is how he's worked to change his body from his college days at Arizona State to who he is in the NBA. He slimmed down a bit, but he still has that strength and that barrel-chestedness that allows him to play so well through contact. But you're right, his speed is lethal and deceptive.
Free throw good from Harden.
And James Harden is clearly an MVP caliber talent. No doubt about that. A triple-double threat who really is a stat sheet stuffer supreme.
Nene, he's checked in for the Rockets. P.J. Tucker comes in for Gerald Green. Second free throw, no good.
And watching James Harden, the amount of shots he is able to create for himself and his teammates, he just does so much from his position that is unrivaled. One of the greatest offensive threats, not only today, but really of the last decade.
Houston's gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. Out to the right wing. Mbah-a-Moute. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Here's Parker. It's deflected.
A rare rejection that time from Tucker, using that long reach, though, and times it perfectly.
13 feet away. Not enough on that one as it misses. And for Harden, he's been in the conversation, Greg, for MVP for several years. He's able to just carry an offense with his creativity, garners attention.
And Kevin, I think he might have won it last year if it wasn't for the amazing season put in by Russell Westbrook. Don't count Harden out, though. He's such a unique talent on offense. Maybe this will be his year to bring home that MVP award.
Shot to stop the drought. Kept alive. Second chance shot. It's Gasol missing.
You know, the defense knew how to play at that time. Liked how they made their presence felt without committing the foul.
A three from Anderson. It's good. And he makes his first shot of the game.
Hey, you have to always be mindful of where Anderson is at all times because he's an excellent marksman.
Gasol, a screen on Mbah-a-Moute. Ginobili kicks to Gasol. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Mills dishes to Gasol. He got right to the cup using that screen. Gasol's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And how about the commitment of Gasol on the screen, doing whatever he can to open up shots for his teammates?
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Now here's Mills. The feed to Gasol. Gasol a screen. And here's Mills for three. That shot misses. The Rockets go the other way with it. Tucker the pass to Anderson. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And you ask any Houston fan who the greatest player in the history of their franchise is, and they all say Hakeem Olajuwon. Clark, you played against Olajuwon. Just how great a player was he, and what does he mean to this Rockets franchise today?
Boy, he was special. A first ballot Hall of Famer, brought the only titles in franchise history to the Rockets, and could do everything you want from a big guy. Graceful, strong, a presence defensively and on the glass, unselfish. They called him Hakeem the Dream for good reason. That dude was a dream to play with and a nightmare for opponents.
Marcus Aldridge is checked in for San Antonio. Bertanis comes in for Anderson. And a switch here also for Houston. Tarek Black, he's checked in for Anderson. Aldridge dishes to Mills. Aldridge a screen. And Mills kicks to Aldridge. It's good. Aldridge has got it all tied up now for San Antonio.
His mid-range game is what sets Aldridge apart from the other bigs in our league. He's about as accurate a shooter as you'll find among players with his size.
Here's Black. Here's Nene. Bertans grabs the board.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Ginobili kicks to Aldridge. Parker outside. Over Harden. Stolen by Tucker. And it's Houston on the break. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. That one on Ginobili.
That's just unselfish basketball by Tucker, making the extra pass to set up his teammate.
Let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Houston.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
The Spurs making a switch here. Forbes checked in. Free throw no good for Mbamute.
Well, you know, last season one of the surprise teams was the Houston Rockets. Ended up third in the West and one of the best records in the NBA. And, you know, most thought they would have a down year after Dwight Howard walked.
Now here's Green following the miss by Tony Parker. Green kicks it to Tucker. From 13, the shot comes out, so the Spurs will take it the other way. Down low, and he uses the glass on the layup. Bertans got his first points in this one. And the Rockets, one of the big surprises in the NBA, but the players believe that they were one of the best teams heading into last season. They eventually won 55 games, which was much better than the 41 wins the season before.
Well, you know, Kevin, this organization has been putting out solid teams for the past decade, really. I mean, Mike D'Antoni deserves a lot of credit for their play last season because they were focused and were always hard to match up with.
Green kicks to Black. Green, the screen. Jumper off the screen. Again, Nene missing.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
Tie game in San Antonio. And we'll be back right after this. And the San Antonio Spurs have really popularized that unselfish offensive style of play. Manu Ginobili talked about their Spurs approach.
Attack and find the open teammate, not try to solve problems by ourselves. It's something that we've never done, and every time we did it, it's not us.
There's a lot to be said for knowing, Greg, who you are and what your game plan is, and there may be no other team that gets that better than the San Antonio Spurs.
And Kevin, it helps to have that core of Manu and Tony there as the foundation and coaches on the floor for each new wave of players that have come through this Spurs organization.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here, what do you think they've been doing or not doing?
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Grinding away down low, man, just filing them down. Love the bully ball method. Paying off well.
Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Then there's Murray. Then there's Anderson. And it's Forbes in at the shooting guard position. That's the San Antonio 5. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, Kawhi Leonard has become a go-to scorer, but his focus still starts at the defensive end. He said, my mindset is the same every game. Whoever I'm playing against, I go in and try to stop their best scorer and then try to get myself going on the offensive end. Kevin?
And David, that's what you get with Kawhi. Mr. Consistency, one of the best two-way players in the game.
Shooting 2.
That one is off. Clark, as an analyst, do you feel you view the game drastically different from when you were in your playing days in college and the NBA?
Yeah, you know what, Kevin, I really do, because I've benefited from the different coaches we've had a chance to visit with over the years, and that's added to my perspective. And you tend to look at things differently when you're playing. I was always a student of the game, but clearly I think I've become a lot more analytical as an analyst, if that makes any sense.
Yes. Now here's Harden. Launches a three, sinks the three-pointer. Harden's got 13.
And it seemed like they couldn't get anything to fall in that opening quarter, but you can just feel the momentum starting to shift.
Yeah, things are starting to look up. I mean, they're making amends for that slow start, finding a rhythm right now.
Here's Murray. 5 points in the game. 5 to shoot. No good again that time.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
And Tucker has it in the corner. Screen by Capella. Green in the post. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. And now it's a 9-point Houston lead. San Antonio with the ball. No points yet here in the second quarter for them. Back to Murray. He tries for three. San Antonio again missing.
He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Screen by Capella. And Tucker has it in the corner. Dishes to Anderson. Houston moving the ball around. Tucker with the ball. Picked up by Aldridge. Tucker can't get it to go. Spurs trail by 9. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Now Murray. He kicks to Gasol. Pass to Aldridge. Back to Anderson. Launches a three. Green with the rebound. Rockets leading by 9. There's the three. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
And they're right around 50% for the game on their threes, and they've only gotten better as the game's gone on.
San Antonio calls timeout. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
He can't miss from deep. The defense has to regroup here, and I think they've got to change things up because he's locked in from behind the arc.
And the Spurs making a change here. Mills is checked in. Anderson outside. He feeds it to Murray. Gasol, a screen on Harden. To halt the run. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. San Antonio shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
And they had a lot of success a season ago as a team, hitting about 80% of their free throws.
2 shots.
First one falls for him.
And didn't have a single free throw in that first quarter, but he started to play with a little bit more of an edge to his game here in the second.
And so Murray nails both of them. In the post, Clark, you were as polished as they come. I watched it with my own eyes and loved the way you play. Just how important, when you go back to that time, is footwork for a big man in the NBA?
Well, I think it's everything, regardless of what size you are, big or small. Fundamentally sound footwork is essential to being a solid offensive basketball player. And as a guy who played inside and out, it was something I took pride in. And I wasn't the greatest athlete, a decent athlete, so my footwork allowed me to gain an advantage against bigger guys.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Here's Aldridge, and there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done. Aldridge has got 6 points.
Really like how he used his body, got outstanding position on the boards, and it maximized it.
And Houston calls their first time out of the game.
And LaMarcus Aldridge really possesses tremendous shooting touch when you consider this guy's basically a 7-footer, and he's increasing that range. Last season, up over 40% from 3.
And Baamute's checked in for P.J. Tucker. Harden the pass to Green. Back to Harden. Anderson the screen. Harden left side. Outside Green. Good on the three-point shot. Green's got 8 points in the quarter. And Aldridge doesn't shoot a ton of threes, yet he still earns his keep in that mid-range.
Yeah, on that left block, back to the basket, and with his size, that turnaround Jay is just about unstoppable.
Here's Gasol. It's rebounded by Houston.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
Now Anderson. James Harden missing on the three. Now here's Anderson. Feeds it to Aldridge. Anderson the screen. That one's in there. Rocket lead is cut down to 9 in the bucket from Aldridge.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Drills it from outside.
And I like Capella doing whatever he can to help his team succeed, and setting screens is part of that.
Murray kicks to Aldridge. Anderson outside, passes it to Gasol. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Whether it's the low post, high post, flaring off picks, you want the ball in his hands.
And Pau Gasol, a very good perimeter shooter, starting to stretch his range out beyond that three-point arc.
Yeah, his face-up game is becoming more and more prominent. Working from that elbow, he's become more of a triple threat. He can shoot it, drive it, and pass at a high level.
Free throw good, Gasol.
And Gasol is a guy who can do a multitude of things well. I mean, he scores it, rebounds it, passes it, just an all-around talent.
He makes one of two that time. Well, Ryan Anderson, a terrific deep threat in stretch 4.
And I remember last season when he told reporters that a heckler yelled out at him, "Hey, Ryan, you look like a math teacher." And you know, we've heard a lot of these off-the-wall heckles before, but the irony is it's oftentimes the strange ones that tend to stick with you more, and that's an example of it right there.
It's stolen by Capella, and even 3-on-3 break. Harden with it, out guarded by Murray. Here is Mbamute. His three-pointers off the mark.
And I tell you what, he's doing his best to contribute, but he's been out of sync, out of rhythm. Luckily, his team still is in front.
Harden kicks to Mbamute. And some nice passing there by Houston. Anderson, a screen on Aldridge. Out left to the wing. Mbamute. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Mbaamute's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for the Rockets. Spurs trail by 16. Murray kicks to Mills. The dish to Aldridge. The rebound by Anderson. Anderson's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Harden the pass to Capella. Over Anderson. Gets a hand on it, and Green is right there. Green's got 12.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Aldridge sets up the pick now for Murray. And it's Aldridge, top of the key. Can they get it? Aldridge can't get that one to fall.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain-neutral position.
Offensive rebound. Second chance shot off the mark, and he's 2 of 8 for the game.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Here's Green, laid in with a nice touch off the glass. 14 points for him.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Now here's Anderson. Down low, Aldridge. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
And the shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole.
Timeout called, the Rockets. And a lot of scorers in the NBA just demand so much attention when they have the ball. Which players you think, Clark, in your eyes, gets the most attention from a defense?
Well, I mean, how about the MVP of last season, Russell Westbrook? I mean, you can't take your eyes off of him when you're watching the game and certainly when you're playing against him. And you've got to know where Steph Curry is at all times, whether he has the ball or not. He's that dangerous. And James Harden is one of those guys who's a magnet for attention as well. And you always can throw LeBron James in any conversation about most watched players or most focused on players.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Bertanis, he's checked in for Gasol. Ginobili comes in for Kyle Anderson. Green, he's checked in for Patty Mills. And Tony Parker is subbed in for Murray. Nene, he's checked in for Houston. P.J. Tucker comes in for Gerald Green. Now, here's Mbamute. He's got 12. 4 on the clock. Here's Tucker. No good off the front iron. Spurs trail by 18. Ginobili dishes to Parker. Aldridge a screen. Parker kicks to Ginobili. Over Mbamute. Rockets with the rebound. Harden's got his 3rd rebound tonight. For the 3. Houston working now with the new shot clock. Tries again. Good work defensively by Ginobili.
Boy, he has been cold for a while now.
Yeah, he has been, and he's got to find his stroke because he's holding back his team as a result of his poor shooting.
No clue how he got that one to fall.
And that was not a soft foul he had to get through, Greg. I mean, he had to really power that one up and in.
And Tony Parker in the 2017 season with the lowest minutes per game average in his career. He was playing so well in the playoffs. I mean, historically well. Then, Greg, as we know, the quad injury in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear that 15-year run he's had as a starter, that window is rapidly closing, but still effective, just no longer the focal point that he once was. Yeah, and Parker just puts so much pressure on your defense with his speed, and he's made a living out of doing that.
The three from Harden sinks the triple. Harden's got 16.
Three-pointers are killing them at this point, and they haven't been able to respond at the other end.
Yeah, and Greg, you know, the only way that's going to turn around defensively is by stopping the outside shot, not getting into a shootout. They're not going to out-shoot out this team.
And here is Aldridge. James Harden getting it to go from deep. The 15-footer. And it's Aldridge missing. Rockets leading by 18. It's Harden with the drive. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Phenomenal body control from Harden. Superb at just knifing inside and forcing the defense to whack him.
He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game.
In their last contest, guys, he was unconscious from the foul line.
Splashed them one after another. It really was quite a display from the stripe. And guys, if a game was coming down to the wire and an opponent needed to foul, I mean, he was the guy they wanted with the ball in his hands. I mean, shooting the free throws because of his proficiency there.
And he knocks down the first one. He's perfect from the line this time. Spurs trail by 20. Parker kicks to Green. 1:49 left to play in the first half. Aldridge with a screen on Nene. Back to Green. Shot clock at 6. And it's Parker in the corner. Beyond the arc. Doesn't go that time. Good work defensively by Harden.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
They've been outstanding from beyond the arc this quarter. Their percentage has been climbing steadily.
So it's the Spurs now after the Rockets pick up 3. Shot to stop the run. Aldridge, no luck. Houston leading by 23. And 1:01 left in the first half of the game. The leaner. The shot by Nene. No good.
And he's missed every single shot he's attempted today, but somehow they're still in the lead.
Ginobili outside. Kicks it to Green. Aldridge a screen. And the wide open shot from Green. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Setting up the half-court offense now.
They've got to find a way, not enough ball movement or body movement when they get in the half court.
And the shot's good from Nene.
Look at the intensity of Nene, one of the strongest guys in the game, phenomenal at scoring the ball inside.
Here's Parker. Ginobili sends a screen for Parker. He dishes it to Ginobili. Pass to Aldridge. That doesn't go either for Aldridge.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those days. Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. Sometimes it's just not working for you.
And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Houston on top, running away with it. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Greg Popovich. Pop, what do you think was the main issue during the first half?
We didn't make shots.
Thank you for that insightful analysis, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. So far, a pretty lopsided game, but still one half to play. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. James Harden led the way in the first half. He had 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. He came into tonight following a tremendous performance last time out and looks eager for a repeat. Kenny, what'd you think about the Rockets?
I'll tell you, we could see that the Beard is an annual MVP candidate. Premier shot creator, endless tricks for drawing foul, and he hits big, big shots. We've seen it all through 2 quarters. This is a guy you could build the entire offense around.
Shaq, what did you see from San Antonio?
Ernie, I don't use this word a lot because, one, I can't spell it, but it was definitely a subpar effort for them on the glass. That hurt. They're serious about cutting into this deficit. It's gut check time. You hear that, Ernie? I'm hitting my gut. You got to check your gut, Ernie. Gut check time, Ernie.
And that's all we can do for now. As the second half begins, we get you back to Kevin Harlan.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters, just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where he is on the floor either, Greg. He's making it look very easy. He's looking to score the ball.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. And on the floor for Mike D'Antoni starting the second half. Anderson is down low with Capella. Green is out there with Harden. And it's Mbah-a-Moute in at the small forward. Lets it go with a 3. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got 5 assists in the game. The Spurs shooting just 28%. They are offensively out of whack and out of step with each other at this point. Green, no luck.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
Now the pass to Murray. Aldridge against Anderson. Back to Murray. Aldridge a screen. Over in the corner, Gasol. Deep 2 from Anderson. The Rockets pull it in. And Mbah-a-Moute's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Spurs' Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years. Now, here's Green. Harden missing his last shot. Here's Aldridge. Sinks the 15-footer. Aldridge has got 12 points in the game.
And now this game is becoming a showcase for Aldridge. He's been out of control. A one-man team. Now it's just a matter of getting him the ball and getting out of his way.
Now, here's Capella. The feed to Mbah-a-Moute. Houston moving it around. The offensive rebound. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Man, it's nice to see Capella get that deep position inside, and then he's able to draw the foul as he forces the defense to whack him.
Well, Swiss center Clint Capella is up there as one of the most efficient players in the league. He's only 22, but he's efficient mostly because all his shots come right at the basket, right on the doorstep. Last season, he finished near the top of the league, in fact, in field goal percentage.
And for a while, he was leading the league, if I recall correctly, Kevin. Capella knows who he is, what he's about, and what his team needs from him. So he finishes off his chances that are created by guards penetrating. Not flashy, but very effective.
So he gets them both.
Boy, I tell you what, it's really impressive how Capella has improved his role so quickly, Kevin. I mean, he's a starting caliber center known for his defense, but continues to make strides on offense, too.
Now here is Aldridge over Anderson. Aldridge can't get it to go.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
And that's miscue number 2 for them tonight. On the whole, they've been doing a great job of taking care of the basketball.
Yeah, there's a reason, Greg, they've held on to this lead. I mean, being very cautious and controlled with their passing and execution offensively.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
And, Kevin, he saw his guys just a little sluggish out there. Oftentimes, a timeout like this allows you to kind of just reset.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Aldridge with a screen on Harden. Murray kicks to Aldridge. In for his 7th make in 13 tries. Houston's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. On the wing, Harden. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Screen by Capella. Here's Green. Can't hit that one. Good work defensively by Gasol.
1 for 5 on offense. A slow start here in the second half.
Anderson passes to Murray. Green, the screen. Here's Aldridge. Gasol. And Gasol able to finish. Gasol's got 7 points.
And really, Gasol just never stops attacking the boards, just utterly relentless at pounding the glass.
Now, here's Mbah-a-Moute. 18 points for him. Anderson's shot is off. For San Antonio, they've gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. Back to Murray. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Murray. Mbah-a-Moute with the steal. And here we go. Harden heading to the hoop. Goes back up. Anderson with the block. And here is Murray. 7 points in the game. Gasol kicks to Green. Gasol a screen. Here's Murray. Good work defensively by Harden.
Well defended, though, and he's not someone who handles that kind of pressure very well.
Got that bucket in no time at all. 17 points in the game.
you got to respect and you can't sleep on the passing ability of Harden. Love how he zips it over to open teammates.
Gasol a screen. Anderson outside. Clock at 6. Right at the free throw line. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
The Rockets making a switch here. Tucker's checked in. Here is Harden. He's got 18. Dishes it to Capella. He kicks to Amute. Anderson the screen. Shoots the 3. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist from Amute. 21 points for James Harden.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Now here's Murray. He has 7. Gasol a screen. Shoots from the elbow. The rebound by Anderson.
Oof, rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
Harden kicks it to Tucker. Three-pointer. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far.
Now here is Aldridge. 14 points for him. Here's Murray. And again, unable to change momentum here. Here's Harden on the wing. And there's the foul. It'll go on P.J. Tucker. That is his first foul of the game. The Spurs making a switch here. And for the Spurs, they're shooting pretty terrible here in the third quarter at around 30%. Parker passes to Bertans. Forbes dishes to Aldridge. Pass to Forbes. Anderson kicks to Forbes. Aldridge down low. He's against Amute. A nice shot by Aldridge.
Shots are just flowing for him right now, having a really strong quarter.
Harden with it. He's got 21. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Spurs shooting terribly up to this point, just 30%. Some ramshackle offense play there. Here's the screen. Parker kicks to Bertans. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Bertans got 5 points so far.
Yeah, the assist by Parker, just brilliant. Really seeing his teammates out there.
You know, one of the great strengths of Coach D'Antoni, to me, Kevin, is he really gives his players a lot of confidence. And his philosophy really clicks with players. They're comfortable playing for him. They know their responsibilities, and they play hard for D'Antoni.
Here is Anderson. James Harden picking up that last basket. Aldridge kicks to Forbes. Up again, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
You know, we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
Now a timeout called by Houston. And to what you said about Mike D'Antoni, he sees his players and asks, what can they do, instead of what can't you do?
And, you know, he's had a lot of success last season, elevating the Rockets and winning Coach of the Year in the process.
Ginobili's checked in for Anderson. The Rockets also changing it up. Nene comes in for Clint Capella, and it's Tark Black in for Anderson. Harden the pass to Mbamute. Nene with the screen on Aldridge. Here's Harden. Here's Tucker. The Rockets again can't hit.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Bertans can't get it to go.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Over to the wing. Now Tucker. He's got 5. He feeds it to Black. Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel.
Look at the turnover situation, guys, and it's not been that bad. Just a handful, and when you take care of the ball like that, that can help you build a lead.
Green, he's checked in for the Rockets. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Parker dishes to Aldridge. And it's good on the assist by Parker. And that's now 20 points for Aldridge.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Green, no luck. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. Houston's gone to the three-point shot 8 times already in the second half and hit 4 of them.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. Aldridge double-teamed. Here's Parker. Green with the rebound. Green's got 7 rebounds in the game. Feeds to Tucker. Back to Green. The putback. They shoot again. Nene. Great positioning on the putback.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
There's the pick. Pass to Forbes. From past the arc, drains the three-pointer.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And Tucker kicks to Mbamute. The dish now to Black. Green up on top. Houston moving the ball around. Here's Nene. Bank shot, no good.
Has to be disappointing seeing him miss that one, Kevin. I mean, the defense wasn't bad, but still, I think he needs to convert from there.
Parker kicks to Bertans. Ginobili outside. He dishes it to Aldridge. And there's the foul. It'll go on P.J. Tucker. That's foul number 2 for him. 1:39 left to play in the third. Here is Forbes, just 5 on the clock. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Ginobili. Over Mbamute. Ginobili can't hit. And for Houston, they're shooting under 40% all in all for the game. Here's Tucker, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
You know, starting out in the D-League, then bouncing around the international circuit, Tucker took the long, hard road to get here.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for Houston.
You know, one of the big stories has been the 3-ball. It's been a key part of their offense throughout the game.
And you've always heard of guys being in a zone shooting, but you can be in a zone passing the basketball, and we've seen that tonight as well.
That free throw, no good. Good on the second free throw. 1:16 left in the third quarter. Parker kicks to Forbes. And Ginobili wide open. He shoots. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
And how about that lefty stroke there from Ginobili? It is a thing of beauty. He is dialed in from deep.
Green kicks to Mbamute. 50 seconds left here in the third quarter. There's the three. It's rebounded by Aldridge. Aldridge has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Kicks it to Ginobili. Pass to Aldridge. Parker outside, and the pass to Forbes. No good on the three. Rockets leading by 23. Now, here's Mbamute. He's got 18. Green draws the double. Parker with the steal. Here is Forbes, guarded by Tucker. And Forbes kicks to Parker. And the three off target. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. The Rockets on top, delivering the blowout. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Greg Popovich.
Nobody holds the ball, not even 1,001. You catch it, it's a shot, it's a drive or pass, whatever you got.
Specific instructions from Greg Popovich. If you don't have a clean look, don't have an open lane, move the ball.
Yeah, and the key is fast decision making, and that takes great recognition from all five guys in terms of communication. That's really what we call chemistry.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Ginobili out there with Anderson. Then it's Mills. Then there's Parker. And it's Bertans in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the San Antonio 5. Now here's Tucker. Nene with the screen on Anderson. 6 on the shot clock. Pulls up on the wing. That one misses. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. Shoots from 14. Bertans passes to Parker. Here's Bertans, guarded by Nene. Outside, Ginobili. San Antonio again missing.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
And here is Ginobili. James Harden getting it to go from deep. They set the pick. There's the feed to Anderson. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
And you can see there the defender gets caught up on the pick.
I think he's got to be more aggressive, stronger, getting through those screens. Can't allow shooters that kind of space to pull the trigger.
Here's Black. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
That's exactly how it should be done. Get the bump, concentrate on the shot, and you'll get the bucket too.
One shot.
Nene, no good on the free throw.
And I love how his teammates have stepped up for him. He's struggling, but they're ramping it up and getting it done this quarter.
Parker's shot is off.
Excellent concentration from the deep. Intimidated the shooter, bothered him, distracted him, and made him think twice as he went in for that layup.
Now here's Green. For 3. The rebound by the Spurs. Parker's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Mills, and it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. 4th quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Harden against Anderson. It's Harden with the drive, and that's a foul called on Davis Bertans. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Straight frustration right there, and I agree with you. Self-control of your emotions, a must-have if you're going to play winning basketball.
The Rockets making a switch here. Anderson's checked in. Now here's Green. A nice shot by Tucker.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
For San Antonio, they've gone just 33% from the field in the 4th quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. Ginobili kicks to Mills. And he can't answer back. The 3-pointer offline. For Houston, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the 4th quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Tucker can't get it to go. San Antonio's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Ginobili kicks to Anderson, and he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too.
And, you know, that's good offense there. These are the shots you want to get all the time.
And the Spurs with some changes. Laverne, he's checked in for Bertans. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. And Paul subbed in for Parker. And a switch here also for Houston. And Mbaamute's checked in.
One shot. One shot.
Here is Harden. Screen by Mbaamoute. And Tucker kicks to Harden. Houston moving the ball around. Clock at 6. And Mbaamoute dishes to Nene. Over Green. The shot by Nene. No good.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Did a good job guarding the mid-range, extended out nicely, and definitely bothered the shot.
Now here's Paul. Jacks up a 3. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Mills with the steal. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
The first free throw is good. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Laverne. Davis Bertans comes in for Anderson. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Green. And Parker subbed in for Paul. He hits both from the stripe. Rockets leading by 22. And here's Tucker. Nene, the screen. Tucker, the pass to Harden. Dishes to Mbaamoute. There's the 3. Tucker can't get it to go. Spurs have gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the 3rd. Pretty cold down the stretch. Bertans kicks to Parker. Pass to Ginobili. Mills in the corner. Aldridge a screen. Down low. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Aldridge has got 22.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Now here's Tucker, covered by Mills. Anderson the screen. Just 5 to shoot. Another miss by Houston. Spurs trail by 20. Mills with it. The wide open look here for Aldridge. And the three ball is good. Aldridge has got 15 points here in the second half. Now Tucker. It's tipped. And Mbah-a-Moute kicks it to Tucker. Nene, the screen. Feeds it to Anderson. Tries to snap the cold streak. Rebounded by the Spurs. Berton's got 6 rebounds in the game. The three from Mills. And again, it's San Antonio with a three.
No excuse for that kind of defense. I'm positive they're upset about that.
Now a timeout called by Houston.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, they're getting crushed, killed, hammered, pulverized in the post.
Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, during that break, Mike D'Antoni talked to his team. Even though they're ahead, he said, hey, this lead isn't big enough, not by a long shot. I don't want to sit back and play this one out. I still need some aggression. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, David. The Rockets with another miss. Here's San Antonio. They're on a 17-5 run here. And Mills kicks to Parker. He feeds it to Aldridge. Back to Parker. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Now, here's Mbah-a-Moute. Passes it to Harden. He kicks it to Mbah-a-Moute. Tucker hits it from three-point range. Tucker's got 6 in the quarter.
It's really been a tale of two halves, guys. A slow start, but this quarter, he has really been the man.
And Mills kicks to Parker. The Spurs working the ball around now. Bertans passes to Parker. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
And Parker just super efficient at shooting from inside the paint with shots like that one.
Lob pass to Capella. And the dunk by Capella.
Oh, I like how Capella stays one step ahead of the posse on defense. Has a real good sense of body control.
Great way to see the alley-oop. That replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another unleash chaos moment. Here's Mills. After Clint Capella's bucket. Aldridge's screen. And here we go. Harden heading to the hoop. That one drops for him. Harden's got 28.
And Harden continues to work on his defense. It is a work in progress, but showing a bit of an edge on this end of the floor now. I like it.
Now here's Parker. The dish now to Aldridge. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul called on the Houston Rockets.
2.
Gentlemen.
And that one falls for LaMarcus Aldridge.
And, you know, the length and height of Aldridge make him a tough matchup. He's a hard guy to go against, a strong forward that has an impressive mid-range stroke.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Pau Gasol, he's checked in for Davis Bertans. Kyle Anderson comes in for Manu Ginobili. Danny Green, he's checked in for Patty Mills. And it's DeJounte Murray in for Tony Parker. Both free throws good from Aldridge.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
And that efficiency, Greg, is, you know, so critical when you're looking to overcome a deficit. You've got to be close to perfect and can't waste scoring opportunities.
Now, here is Harden. Shots good from Mbamute.
And he's on his way to putting up a big three-point total.
Spurs trail by 18. Good looking screen by Gasol. Anderson against Anderson. He dishes it to Murray. That three off the mark.
You know, I like the competitive spirit, but when you look at it, I think he rushed that three a little bit because he was trying to get back at his opponent.
Here is Mbamute from outside off the mark. The Spurs have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively. Shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Murray kicks to Aldridge. Over Mbamute. Aldridge, no luck. Rockets leading by 18. Harden right side. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
Love the ferocity. Heck, that's one of my favorite words, ferocity. Harden, excellent at accelerating and decelerating. That's the thing that makes him so tough. He can go fast, slow, or mid-range speed.
Shooting two.
The first one falls. Both good on the line that time. Spurs trail by 20. Murray dishes to Anderson. Right side Aldridge. Over Mbamute. Aldridge can't get it to go. And it's Houston's ball. They're on a 12-4 run. Here's Mbamute. And Anderson the screen. Harden kicks to Mbamute. Fires the three. It's not going to go for him. Good work defensively by Gasol. Anderson outside. Aldridge is screen. Murray the pass to Green. Shot clock at 6. 13 feet away. That one a little long. Rockets leading by 20. Now here's Green. Kicks to Harden. Capella sets the screen for Harden. Deep. San Antonio with the rebound. And Anderson dishes to Murray. Aldridge kicks to Green. Aldridge is screen. Anderson outside. For Anderson. A nice shot by Anderson.
And so just rolling the finish line now and what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Rockets.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you, both excellent rebounding team, and it was a battle underneath all game. And that ultimately that earned the W.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, one is the incredible performance for James Harden.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
Now here's Murray. After a quick Capella's miss. Here's Aldridge. Uses that glass to finish the layup.
This is not the team we've been watching for most of the night.
Well, hopefully they can ride this momentum into the next game because this one is done. Over. Fine.
Now here's Green. Harden outside. Hard draws the double. And Bob gets us all. And it's off from three-point range. And quick is good. That will be foul number 5 on him.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there. It really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
On defense, the Rockets. It's a 16-point game. Anderson the screen. And here's Green outside. Nail from three-point land.
Green is a world-class sniper, laser, and excellent shooter. Great at getting his puppy set on these shots from deep.
Harden outside. So easy Houston to the W here. And the win, an uncomfortable win in what was essentially a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road. They didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
It's time now courtside. We send you over David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, James. Congrats on the win. What got it done for you at the end tonight?
It's been aggressive. I told all the guys on the court. We had to make a run. We had to go.
Great play tonight, James. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. Great job. Thanks so much. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time.